Hello, my name is Jenna Lee. Welcome back to the channel. I am an old soul, I guess you could say. I am passionate about restoring old-fashioned, tried and true homemaking skills, and more importantly, home, family, and spirit. Today we are restoring good old-fashioned hospitality, an art that I think has been lost a little bit in our modern society. I'm not just talking about getting a 5-star review on an Airbnb. I'm talking about having someone over to your home and being intentional about caring for them and thinking of their comfort while they are staying at your home. I am not going to share with you a list of things that you need to go by to impress your guests. What's more important than impressing your guests is making them feel loved and comfortable in your home. I like to start out by pulling out the calendar, writing down the date of when my guests are coming, and really working backwards from there. I make a list of the chores and things that I would like to do in my home and things that need to be prepared before they get here. And I break it down to day at a time. From deep cleaning to things like the stair railing needs to be repaired so that my husband's father can walk up the stairs safely, and making sure that the house gets a deep clean before they get here. I like to break it up into rooms. So maybe on this day, I will give the living room a deep clean. And then the next day, I'll give the refrigerator a cleaning. And then the next day, work on the baseboards in the kitchen. Whether you have an air mattress, a couch, or an extra bedroom, I think true hospitality is tending to someone's comforts and just giving them the best that you have to work with. We do have an extra room, and frankly, I am embarrassed to share its current state with you guys and thought about not sharing it with you, but alas, that would not be very honest. So for all of you to know that there really are just human beings on the other side of the screen, here is our extra room, and it is a mess. It has been collecting things, acting more like a storage room when it really could be used for so much more. And it's such a beautiful room with beautiful views. I want to make this into a comfortable guest room. I have definitely organized this room before. The problem with our space is that, well, we don't have any closets and we don't have a garage or an attic or a basement. So storage is kind of a problem in our current situation. But I'm not complaining. Certainly the problem is lack of organization. What I have found to be true is that if you haven't touched something in the past 6 months or used it in the last year, then you're probably not going to be using it anytime soon. So we've kind of left some things in this room and let them kind of go through the test of, are you going to use this? Some of these things are seasonal, like winter gloves and coats, and other things like craft supplies that you are never going to use or you haven't been using for years just needs to go. So I did empty out this entire shelving unit of craft supplies that I actually probably used to do before I had kids and haven't touched since. What does this all have to do with having company over? You may be asking. Well, looking forward to a visit is a great excuse to do some decluttering. Maybe make some goals in your house, some things you want to get ready or get done before company comes over. I know I sure do. The motivation it gives me to get my act together, organize my home, and make it beautiful. So now that I got this room all dejunked and cleaned out and organized, I want to give it a really nice deep clean. This old house has its original windows, and there are quite a few bugs up here that I'm cleaning out of the windows. Plenty of cobwebs to vacuum up and get cleaned out. When I think of staying in a hotel or Airbnb somewhere, cleanliness definitely is at the top of the list. And so when you're preparing a place for someone to stay, just really giving it a good clean, dusting, wiping things down can go a long way. I know some of you are probably thinking we need some new windows, but I do love the look of these old early 1900 windows so much that I don't really mind cleaning up the bugs and the grime that they bring in with them. trying to figure out where to put the queen size bed in here was a little tricky. There actually is this door over here that goes out into a balcony that needs a little bit of repairing. I have not been using it because I'm a little unsure about how safe it is. And then this room is also covered with windows that are low to the ground. So it was a little tricky trying to figure out placement here, but we are going to go kitty corner in here for the bed. If you're wondering, we have always had this bed as a guest bed, but my daughter has been using it since we've moved here. She graduated from her toddler bed, and now she's going to be getting a big girl bed soon, and we will be making this the permanent guest bed. We bought this fireplace when we bought our first house, and it really symbolizes my first effort into homemaking and making a beautiful home, and we've carried it with us all this time. I love the purpose that this little faux fireplace has always brought to a room. It really brings the room together and draws it to a focal point, and also makes this room just feel really classic. And now that it has a working insert in it, it's going to bring some functionality and some warmth to this room as well. So thank you to my friend who gave me this little insert that works. It fits perfectly. I like to call that a God wink when things work out just perfectly. It really proves that somebody is looking out for us. You should never underestimate a woman who is preparing for company to come over. There is a surge of adrenaline that you get when you know someone is coming into your home, and it gives you all the energy to make things happen and make them happen quick. My husband always gives me a hard time when I'm doing the cleaning marathon before company or even dinner guests come over. If you know what I'm talking about, press the like button. It's a real thing. I try to put on some of my best sheets when company's coming over, make them feel a little bit luxurious. And I like to go with a classic white. Makes you feel kind of like you're staying in a hotel. I did save some things that I absolutely need to have stored up here. Things like my sewing machine and wrapping paper. Things that I wanted to be pretty accessible. So I'm tucking those underneath the guest bed so that they will be easy to pull out, and hopefully no one will know they are there. I really need to get a bed skirt under this bed. I'm also tucking a few pictures and pieces of art that I just haven't been able to get rid of, some keepsakes really, and I'm going to tuck them in right here behind this bed, out of sight. For Christmas this year, we got our kids the Hardman family, our family's night before Christmas, from iseeme.com. This is a great gift idea if you have family who lives far away, for your grandkids or nieces and nephews. We have had several books that we have customized for our family in the past for gifts, and I really love turning this classic Christmas book into a customized family Christmas book. If you haven't figured it out yet, I'm kind of a sentimental, and my favorite part was that you can put little messages in the front and in the end of this book, really customize it for your loved ones. You can get 35% off your order by using my coupon code Jennalee35 at checkout. You can find the link down in the description box below this video. It takes time to make a curated home, to collect pieces that really suit your taste and fit the home well. I picked up these lamps from an antique store quite a few years ago. They are hand painted, and I think they are absolutely gorgeous, and I have been waiting to have the perfect place to put them. and I needed to put lampshades on them. So I thought this was the perfect opportunity to put them in this comfy guest room. It's nice to have some cozy lighting in the guest room and to be thinking about where they would like to have these lights. It's nice to have a lamp by the bed so you can do a little bit of reading before you go to bed. And I also wanted to kind of create a cozy nook there in the corner next to the bookshelf. So I think it's nice to have both of these lamps here so you could sit down and read a book or be able to turn one off before you go to bed. Fresh flowers are a nice touch to a guest room, and putting some books out that your guests can read, maybe some magazines, is always a nice touch. This beautiful photograph is of my grandmother when she was a little girl. You can even go as far as putting out photos of your family members or your guests, maybe some good times that you've had together. I know that's a trick that my mother-in-law always does when we go visit her. She puts up pictures of our family so that we can see ourselves and just, feel at home. I was almost tempted to go out and buy a new duvet cover to put on the bed just for this purpose of having guests over and wanting to freshen things up. But then I remembered that I have a beautiful quilt that I can use already, and these lovely envelope pillowcases, which is kind of one of my signature moves, is having these pillowcases that I can switch out. And it just reminded me that you don't have to go out and buy a bunch of new things. You don't have to spend a lot of money. You can switch out the things that you have, make them look pretty, and just use the best that you have. I decided to go with less throw pillows in the end because I just thought, I always throw the throw pillows off when I climb into bed anyway, so this would be less pillows for them to take off their bed. I don't know. What do you think? Are you a more throw pillow person or a less? Write down in the comments below. Another thing to think about is where they're going to put their suitcases. So I'm putting this trunk at the foot of their bed so they can have something to put their suitcase on. Also be thinking about where they can hang up a blouse or maybe their Sunday best clothes. So I hung up this little rack here so that they can hang up some of their dresses and whatnot since we don't have a closet in this room. Some other things to think about are putting out a box of Kleenexes and a little trash can. Really knowing your guest can actually be a huge benefit and knowing their needs. I know that my mother-in-law teaches virtually, so having a little desk set up for her, I need to bring a chair up here so she has a comfortable place to do her lessons virtually. I know my father-in-law loves to read, so having a comfy seat for him to read books in and relax, have a quiet place to get away will really mean a lot to them. You can also put some nice fluffy bath towels out for your guests with a little laundry basket as well. Making a little corner for them in the bathroom, even if it's just providing a little basket on the bathroom counter so they know they have a place to put their toothbrushes and makeup. It's just these little things that can go a long way and make people feel comfortable, like they have a place here in your home. So, what are some of the things that you like to do when you are preparing for company? Are you having company over for the holidays? I would love to know what you are doing for the holidays. Let me know down in the comments below. I feel like we could do a whole nother chapter on hosting. One of my favorite things is feeding the people. I get so excited about what I'm going to cook up in the kitchen. I love spoiling my guests with good homemade food. I look forward to seeing you guys soon in the next video. I make a new video each week, and I'll catch you next time. Love you lots.